What's up, everybody? I'm Aslan. That's Michael Langston, recruiting analyst for Warchant.com. And this is his call-in show here on YouTube Live. Thank you so much for joining us, Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminoles sports source. Everything we're talking about tonight has probably already been discussed over on the premium recruiting board at Warchant.com. If you're not a member, use that promo code at the bottom of your screen. That's Warchant30. How else can they show some support, Michael?
You can hit the like button for us, guys. Just hit that thing. Helps us promote everything we're doing. Certainly now in heavy critical recruiting season with signing day on December 15th through the 17th. Certainly a lot of great stuff. If you've already seen on the front page with the new athletic director, then another new athletic director, and then just all the recruiting tidbits and news and nuggets that I pass along. Sometimes there's two recruiting nuggets and they're full of everything, transfers and everything. So, hit that like button. It'll help us keep promoting these great features we're going to give you guys.
Absolutely. That's right, man. Michael, what are we going to do this next week? I know Wednesday we're going to go all out, but we're going to do another one of these Monday night. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, we'll probably do it Monday just before the first day of signing day. Get kind of ready for it because there's a lot of preparation that people probably don't see that we do to get ready for that big day with a lot of guys signing, if not most or all of them that are commits that are signing. So, and there's going to be some guys that are they're uncommitted that hopefully FSU can pull to get it going and finish off this, I guess, early signing day, which will be the major part of probably the class because a lot of kids, most kids are deciding early signing day. There'll be a few left over for February, but um, definitely, definitely the early signing day will certainly be full of all kinds of things. So yeah, Monday we'll knock this thing out and get you guys ready for the big signing day of the day everyone's been waiting on.
Yeah. Tuesday, we need a day of rest. I don't need a day of rest. Michael needs a day of rest. Keep his sanity on Tuesday. So he's not going to be resting. He's going to be doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, but we're not going to make him do a live show on Tuesday. Yeah. We begin as we usually do. Rob Rathbun, man, our guy, he's just like Tyler Martin. He just gets on base, starts us off every night. Just, but he goes like extra bases though. So I'm going to give him he gets a little extra on top of all of this. If I could, I don't know, my sound's ready, but now I do. Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, and I'll have another. I think I'll have another set of nuggets. It'll be late, so if you late hours that stay up, it's fine. If not, when you wake up and drink your coffee, you'll have something in the morning. So I'm probably going to do one more set since we have some big in-home visits tonight. Wesley Bissainthe, who committed to Miami, FSU's making another push for that one. We're trying to flip him and get him in the fold for FSU, and then Marvin Jones Jr., he's getting a big in-home visit from Mike Norvell, so that's going to be a big one to kind of watch going forward. He's supposed to be in there tonight, so we'll see, and I'll have more kind of notes on that.
Wasn't Norvell at Marvin Jones Jr.'s house earlier this week or last week, or was that
it was just a defensive coaching staff. There was a lot of coaches, but it wasn't him. I mean, this is his big in-home that they would need to really just nail since they're in a certainly close battle. Oklahoma is out, but Alabama is definitely a major threat to FSU, and then this Southern Cal he just visited over the weekend, so that's another threat for FSU. So we'll see how that goes, and certainly I expect to get some late night nuggets and see how that visit went from the in-home.
Freshly minted 5-star Marvin Jones Jr. Everybody, look at that! Get him, get Kevin Coleman, get Julian Armella. Come on, come home, everybody. Let's get this thing top 5. Let's keep this one swiftly and keep things moving along here. Michael Abdel asks, bigger flirt with Florida State, Nyjalik Kelly or Earl Little?
Probably, I would say Earl, just because he always highlights FSU. He really likes Woodson a lot. He really hypes them up. But I would say him because he just loves to push the envelope, and he likes it here. He's been here 3 times, but at the end of the day, I think he probably goes to Alabama. That's kind of my feeling. Now, maybe Mario Cristobal can change his mind, and maybe they do something there. But I think it's probably between those two. You never know. South Florida kids surprise, so they like pulling surprises. But I think FSU will be a dark horse there. But and then Nyjalik Kelly, I think he's probably going to Miami because the main coach that's dealing with him was Mario from the start. He really liked Mario. I think they were looking for a reason to go to Miami with Nyjalik, and I think Mario gave him that. So and he's visiting there officially this weekend. So that's kind of where I stand on those two guys. But definitely, I would lean more towards Earl as being the flirt.
Right on. All right, Mark Sermon's in the house. What's up, Mark? Make some noise for our guy, Mark. A little bit of this.
Dollar bills, y'all.
A little bit of that. I'll scroll here, Mark. I'll see if I can find your question. Oh, there we go. There it is. I appreciate all the information you guys provide for us, Michael. What are the top 3 linebackers that FSU is looking for in the portal?
Well, I don't think we have enough guys. I mentioned one last night. Noah Taylor is one from Virginia, very productive linebacker. I want to say 169 tackles. I want to say his career he had 28 tackles for loss and 12 sacks for the whole career. And so he's a guy that I think they will likely pursue. That's kind of, but we don't have enough really to just go and say, oh, who's the top 3? Because there's not enough level like that I think Noah will be that that they're pushing for at this stage. And that's the other point I want to bring to people is like people just think like, oh, the portal is done like after this early signing. It's like that couldn't be farther from the truth. This thing's going to go until, as we saw last year, it went all the way up to almost July and pulling kids. So that would be kind of the cutoff date was July, but this thing's only cranking up. This is just the start of the portal. So if you don't get all your guys in the early sign period, that's not like, oh, well, they're just not getting, no, it's going to be a longevity of portal action all the way up to maybe April or May. So maybe even June. So, there's going to be a lot of guys. And right now we don't have enough targets to say, oh, these are the top 3 for linebacker. But that's one guy that I would keep in mind for FSU in the portal is Noah.
Okay, right on. Keep things moving along here. Thank you, Mark, for the question, man. We certainly appreciate it. Look at our guy here. Let's go. Come on, Michelle, let's go.
Man, I want to give him all the nuggets right now, but I'm still waiting on calls, my man. So when I get that, I'll certainly give all the nuggets I have and what I'm hearing. But I appreciate that. I appreciate all the contributions. Certainly, we are greatly humbled when you guys do that. We don't ask for it. You guys do it out of your kindness, your heart, and it means a lot. So I appreciate the contributions with that, and certainly I'll stay on it, guys. I'm doing this until FSU stops recruiting. I won't. So I'm going to stay on this, and anything that's going on, I'm definitely going to let you guys know.
Great cash, homie.
Vishal, let's go, man. Appreciate it, man. Give us the nuggets. Vishal, if you got a specific question, post it here in the chat, in the comments. I'll scroll. I'll try to find it and get you up here on the board. Golly, there's just so many questions, but we got phone calls. There's questions. There's phone calls. Let's grab a phone call. Let's get through these first wave of calls. Let's go to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and let's speak to Mr. 757. Garrett Kirk. Garrett Kirk, good evening to you, man.
Good evening, Michael and Aslan. How you guys doing tonight?
Strong.
Less than a week to go.
Fantastic, man. Ready to roll. Counting down the days. Ready to get it done. See what they get, and it's going to be a fun finish. It's going to be interesting and exciting, and just to see certainly all these Seminoles that they sign on early signing day. I think that's the thing that kind of gets lost on people. Of it's a top class with a lot of talented guys that have already signed. So I think people forget about the guys that have already committed. So I think it's going to be a fun day, regardless who everyone they pull. But I think it's going to be a big day just to have those guys in the fold, lock them in, and certainly get ready for a very exciting future for this 2022 class.
All right, I have a question about 2 people, Jacob Copeland and Jaden Gibson.
Okay. Jaden is officially visiting Oklahoma this weekend, so it looks like he's trending towards there from what I hear. Talked to his high school coach, told me for now that's the only visit they have planned. Officially visiting Oklahoma. He has a relationship with Jeff Levy, so they go back there, and so I think Oklahoma sits as long as the visit checks out. I think he goes well. Now, if he just absolutely hates the visit, then certainly FSU still in play because Jaden has visited FSU a lot. Norvell, Dugans, all those guys have done a really good job with him. But I would lean towards more Oklahoma. Jacob Copeland just got in the portal today, so I'm at to wait and see the feedback I get from that. Certainly a talent receiver that they previously recruited before he went to Florida. So I think it's a guy they'll have their eye on, but will they push? I don't know. I won't know that for maybe 24 hours, and I'll check on it and check on my sources and see what they're telling me as far as if there's going to be a push there.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. As always, I thank you for taking my call. You all have a great night. Support all the things Warchant supports. If you're not a member, make sure you sign up. Support the Luna. Everything else, hit that thumbs up. Go Noles. You have a great evening.
Gator Kirk, look at that, man. Efficiency, thy name is Gator. We appreciate the phone call. It's Mr. 757. It's Gator Kirk in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Let's get back here to YouTube. Comments overflowing here. Overflowing. Yeah, Steve, we're working on all that. Michael's trying to get all the times for everybody.
Yeah.
Give the man some time. Give him some time
Yeah.
to figure it all out.
Steve will get to that. I'll get to that probably over the weekend and have the times. A lot of these kids are still ironing out all the times for when they're doing it, so they don't know exactly. Usually, they don't get that for probably a day or two before if they're announcing, it'll be a day before they're announcing, or if they're signing with the ceremonies, they'll tell me when they're signing. So I'll get to that when we confirm that, and that'll be probably later this weekend, maybe Sunday, maybe even stretch to Monday. So I'll see as soon as I get it. I'll certainly put it up.
And yes, some guy Wednesday, 8 a.m. tentatively. We'll be going from 8 a.m. to 1, and then Jeff Cameron, Tom Lang will take it over from 1 to 3. So we'll be very, very, very busy. Lots of MJJ talk, Michael. Has anything changed, or is anything going to come out of this home visit? Do you think you'll have a better feel, a better sort of understanding of where Marvin Jones Jr. is leaning towards after this home visit, or is this just one and many other moves that's going to happen here in the next 6 days?
I think you'll have a better feel to just how FSU feels, but that decision is probably going to come down to the final moment. And I've told people, like, look, like, Alabama's Alabama. Alabama does what the NIL, what they do. I've mentioned that constantly. Bryce Young over $1 million on the NIL, so they certainly do well there from the business aspect, and certainly on the field, Alabama is the standard for everyone that everyone follows. So then you have that, but then you have the turnaround of what FSU's doing. He sees what they're doing. He sees the growth. He believes in what Norvell is doing, and his heart is with FSU. You can tell how much he loves FSU. It's not a fake persona of, oh, I just I like them because my dad played. No, he genuinely cares deeply about FSU. So there is certainly, it goes, are you going to with your heart and the growth and want to be part of something that's building and something that's trending to a special location, or do you go for the team that's consistently winning all the time?
Johnson brothers, Michael. People asking about the Johnson brothers. Oh, Max and whatever the other kid's name is. Sorry, Jake. I don't know. Brad's son that plays tight end. I apologize.
Yes, Jake Johnson. He's a 2022 tight end, one of the best in the country. He was committed to LSU, decommitted after Max Johnson, which is his older brother. He is a talented quarterback from LSU. Put his name in the portal officially. He's in there today, so he's in there. So those that don't know, Brad Johnson, former quarterback at FSU and basketball player, FSU certainly is an option. Now, I know people want to know, hey, what are they doing? They're pushing, or right now, FSU is figuring out what they're going to do, if they're going to go, if they're going to push, they're going to go forward. Personally, to me, it screams FSU, both with Jake and Max, because Max is a really productive quarterback. Think I want to say 27-7 ratio as far as touchdowns and interceptions. So certainly would be a productive passer in this offense, mobile enough to get yards you need to. So it seems that, but right now there's a non-commit as far as FSU pushing, or if they're going to push the right direction. I personally believe, from my gut feeling, that they will pursue, but when they do that, we don't know. I talked to Brad a little bit the other night. Brad said, look, we don't have any plans to visit yet. We're really just fielding calls right now. And this was when it just, started hitting the portal. So that's kind of the status on both of those. I think they will both end up at the same place. That's my gut feeling. It's kind of how it worked with LSU. So whoever gets them is getting two sensational, not just players but kids, and then a great family, but also talented guys that certainly, if you somehow, and I'm not saying they will, but if you somehow added both of these guys, that dramatically changes your program to where you're going, and how quickly you can ascend to that point of where FSU wants to be. But right now, we're in a holding pattern. I've shared a lot of this, what I'm telling you guys in our Nuggets a few days ago. So that's kind of where things sit with Max Johnson and Jake Johnson. So I think you guys disappointed me. I thought you would ask that question quicker.
Oh, they
But
did. They did. I just
okay,
waited. I
there
waited.
you go. Well, that's kind of the status of where things stand at this stage.
Dude, Jake looks more like Mark Richt than he does look like his dad, man. It's crazy. I don't know. Corey was saying something about like there's some sort of cross-pollination between the Richt family and the Johnson family. Like a sister is married to one of these dudes, but anyhow, people don't care about that stuff. Question from Eric Angel. Eric gets his own intro music because he drops $25 in the jar.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I don't know if this is really a question or is more so a stream of consciousness from our guy in the Emerald, or the Queen City rather, of Cincinnati. Good evening, Michael. Man, I was getting worried about this recruiting class because with all the noise going on at FSU with players entering the transfer portal. I mean, well, like Ira Henry goes in the portal. That's bad. I mean, come on now. No offense. I'm not trying to be rude, but just, hey, let's take an inventory of what we're losing here. FSU trying to find their new athletic director and the coach is leaving. But no, they'll be all right, Michael? There's Chris Marv leaving. We haven't really seen any kind of fallout from that, and obviously, I don't think 18-year-old kids are all that worried about who the AD is. Maybe their parents are, but they've got that with Michael Alford's hire. So,
yeah, Eric, I don't think there's cause. I mean, you look at all the players that are in the portal. Most of those guys, if not all of them, I'd say all of them. Now that I think about it, they weren't really playing a lot. I mean, J-Ron McCluster wasn't playing a lot. Carter Boatwright was not playing a lot. True Thompson was probably the closest to potentially, doing some things, but he wasn't playing a ton. So these guys are leaving because there wasn't a reason that it's both helping them and helping FSU. It's like, look, you got to have you guys that are contributing. And it's a big part of the team, and not that they're practicing and all that stuff gets FSU ready, certainly, but you got to make the best decisions for both of them. So I don't think that's a killer or hurting them any. Then with the linebackers coach, Armell Graham doesn't seem bothered by it. He's happy for Chris that gets a good job, but he also knows they're going to hire the right guy, whoever it is. I personally think it's Randy Shannon, but we'll see. But I think he's fine with it, and that's really the only linebacker commit besides that. So I don't think that really hurts you. And then, athletic director was a crazy carousel, but I think ultimately they got the right guy. But so I think everything's kind of set in place and starting to move in the direction of where FSU wants to go. So I think everything's going as planned. But certainly there's some things they've had to adjust to with the coaches and certainly athletic director. But the players leaving, I think that's pretty much expected. It wouldn't surprise. I mean, there's probably going to be more. So there's going to be guys that aren't playing, and that's part of the portal. And the reason the portal's there is it's to go places where you can find a place where you can contribute. And FSU's going to add some. And FSU's there's going to be some guys that leave. That's part of the old process.
thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Longtime subscriber Jeremy Ivins down there in South Florida sending some love. Michael asks you, what's your favorite dipping sauce for your nuggets?
I'm old-fashioned. I just like the old-fashioned barbecue sauce. Sometimes I like the spicy barbecue. It's always good to throw a little spice in there. But that's just me, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy. Travis says he'll take a 10-piece. Drops $5 in the jar as well. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate it. Very kind of you guys. What's up with Bissainthe, Michael? You mentioned earlier in the show, a couple people also posting some comments in here. Well, that's not really a comment so much, but so how does this work? A guy commits not even less than a week ago, but you still can call him. I mean, it's not against the rules, but is there a vibe that Florida State has that this thing isn't over and that's why they're pushing for it? Or is this sort of a Hail Mary they're kind of trying to pull off?
No, I don't think it's a Hail Mary. I think here's the thing with in-homes, especially after a kid commits, obviously the coaches still reach out and make sure they've gotten something vibe that they feel like there's still a chance. And that's the way they view it. I personally think it's the vibe of Randy Shannon being possibly the linebackers coach. You remember Wesley goes back with him, so Wesley likes Randy a lot. They connect really well. So if Randy is the guy, that's certainly enticing, I think, to him, and it's enticing enough that you invite somebody in. It's like you can't just show up at somebody's house. It's got to be a mutual thing that they want you there. So it's clear Wesley mutually wants them there. Now he possibly could take another official visit to Miami, which I think is possible because Mario's a coach. He can take another one because it's a new coach. So that's a possibility. But FSU's not going down. They're going down swinging, and they're going down swinging for a reason. They're not going to go waste their time somewhere if they're not getting enough information or vibe that there's at least a chance. So that's kind of where they're at with the status of Wesley Bissainthe.
Gotcha. Thanks, Michael. Khalil Young's here, everybody. Give it up for Khalil. Thanks, Khalil. Appreciate the $10, man. For real. Thank you. I've heard, this is Khalil, things have cooled off on Daniel Martin and I guess Jerron Willis, I'm assuming, going to Ole Miss. Is there a surprise name that we are involved with? Are you keeping a secret from us, Michael? Spill it.
I'm not keeping secrets, guys. I mean, if there's a linebacker, I'd be posting that guy on the Nuggets every day. No, there's not a surprise name that I don't know, but there's always guys that are secondary that they've worked on, especially if Randy Shannon is the guy at linebacker coach. He has several guys around the country, especially in South Florida, that he's certainly looking at. I'm still trying to compile those names. I do agree with you with Daniel Martin. They didn't go in-home visit with him, at least in the last 2 weeks that I saw, or unless they did something under the radar that I didn't know about in-home, but I have not heard them in-homing him, so that I would lead to believe the cooling off, and I haven't heard much about his name from the FSU circles. And then Willis looking like it's likely for Ole Miss. People forget Otis Reese is also there. He's from the same area as Jaron. So that's kind of what led to that. And then there's a relationship there. And Willis has always told me he has liked Ole Miss some. So I think that's something to watch. But as far as linebackers names, no, I don't know that yet, guys. I told people on the board, I'm going to look to see who the guys that they're possibly potentially targeting. And once I get that nugget, I'll post it on the board as soon as I hear some names. But for right now, nope, it's just it's mainly the guys they're focused on that you've seen them visit.
Thank you, Danielle, clearing it up. Brad Johnson apparently married Mark Rick's sister. So there we go. I told you there's a similarity there. Some of them Rick genes, man. Some of them Rick genes. All right, we got other comments here on YouTube. I'll have to have you pause. Sorry. Let's get to these phone calls. Try to blitz through. Let's try to get maybe through two of them if we can keep them tight. We're going to start off in Thomasville, North Carolina. It's Daryl, everybody. Daryl, good evening to you.
How you doing, Ezra? What's going on, Michael?
Hope y'all. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
We're doing all right. I was going to ask you about a couple players. One of them was Ezra Thomas. I think there's been a couple of rumors going around that I know he's supposed to visit FSU this weekend, but there's I guess a rumor going around that I think the University of Florida is trying to switch him and trying to get him to go, come to Florida instead of FSU. Is he still coming to FSU, or what are you hearing there?
Yes, he's already set the visit. I checked last night. I'll follow up again just one more time. And as I know, he's expected to be at FSU. It's not a guarantee he signs early, but I would lean more towards him signing early. So, yes, he's expected to be at FSU officially this weekend. That's been confirmed in multiple avenues. I know Florida just hired Corey Raymond, who he had a previous relationship with, but from what I was been told, that he is going to visit FSU.
Okay, and my second player is Devante Barnes, I think, out of Las Vegas. I know he's, I guess got some ties out there at Southern Cal, and with Riley out there. Is he still got some interest here at Florida State, or is it a pretty good conclusion that he go sign with Southern Cal?
He's very serious about FSU. I think he's very serious about Southern Cal. They certainly have a lot of guys that he knows over there. But Dillingham, he goes way back with. That's his first offer. So I think there's a very real chance. Now, if I was leaning, if you had a gun to my head, I'd probably say just Southern Cal on just the fact that he knows Lincoln Riley so well. He certainly knows players that are on the team. There's already people he's familiar with, but I don't think that's a slam dunk. I think it's very close from what I hear. He's officially visiting Miami this weekend, which was interesting, and that was before they hired Cristobal. So he is officially seeing what's going on there. But I think in the end, I think Southern Cal and FSU are the teams that I hear the most frequently all the time with his recruitment. He really loves how FSU utilizes the running backs, probably more so than any of those teams that I already covered. So that entices him. I think it's certainly one where he's going to break stuff down. Do I know which way he's leaning? No. And I pressured him the other week, and he really said, "Look, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm not even going to break things down until I get back from the Miami trip." So I think he's a guy that they certainly have a shot with.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael, and I see Coach Norvell. He's down there inside the 50-yard line. He's got our team driving. I think we're gonna score a big touchdown this coming Wednesday, and we're gonna have some guys signed that most people probably don't expect, and we're gonna be saying touchdown Florida State. Right. And Michael, you're doing a great job. As long as you keep on doing what you're doing, buddy, you're doing fantastic. Guys, y'all hit that like button and support Warchant. And I say go Noles, and we'll talk to y'all on Monday. God bless and have a great day. Bye bye.
That's Daryl, everybody. This is the good-hearted Daryl from Thomasville, North
Thank you,
Carolina.
Daryl.
Man, what a good dude. All right, let's grab Wes in the queue, and then we're going to get back to the YouTube comments. It's Wes, the Villages, questions to follow. Wes, good evening to you.
Good evening, Aslan. What's going on, Michael?
Just plugging along, my man. What's going on?
Hey, not much. Keep up the good work, buddy. Doing great. Hey, I'll
Appreciate
keep it quick. I know you got a lot going on. So there's a big list came out, obviously, of official visitors, unofficial for this weekend. Are there any guys that you think may show up that aren't announced? And if you think there are, would you be willing to take a stab at who could potentially show up, maybe that's just off the radar?
That I don't know. I'm not holding a guy that I think could show up or not. I mean, Miles Frazier is an offensive lineman, said he's probably coming Saturday, but I think I've heard some stuff that he might visit LSU too. So trying to figure out his plans. Besides him, I don't have any that could be a surprise that just show up. I think most of the guys that those have been confirmed to our FSU contacts and through the kids themselves. So the guys that we have on the list are the guys who would it surprise me, Wes? No way. Like I would expect there be possibly some surprises that could show up. I'm not saying they will, but not going to rule it out because this is the last weekend to pretty much host any recruits for that signing day. So I could see something, happening there. But do I know guys that I'm potentially looking for? No, not yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like there'll be probably maybe one or two to be a surprise, but
Okay.
nobody that I can pinpoint. The other thing, question about early signing day. Do you like it? Not like it? Do you think they should get rid of it and go back to the traditional signing day? What are your thoughts on it, pro and con?
Well, the pros are, the kids can get it out of the way. They can get their bodies ready for what they're going to endure when they go to, college. So it's an advantage for kids. Probably not an advantage for me having two signing days, but I prefer the regular traditional one that everything sets up for that February. That's just me. I just like that. I'm old fashioned like that, where I just prefer one signing day because just so many things can happen. But I understand it's beneficial for the kids, for the recruits to deal with that as far as, you could sign, what happens if you sign on next week and then next thing you know, a coach leaves right after you sign. So, just I understand the reasons of how it benefits the kids some, but I prefer, I prefer to have the regular traditional one signing day. I think two signing days just really, kind of clouds up everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like the National Signing Day now is just boring. Like you don't even really, there's not a lot goes on. I feel like before it was like, having Christmas in February, it was a big singular day. And
Yep.
now it just loses its luster. And I get both sides of it, but like you, I'm more of a traditionalist and I like just having the one traditional signing day, but you understand, the other side of it as well. But I just thought I'd get your opinion on it. I kind of, I tend to agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wes. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Yeah, keep up the good work. Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as warchant.com, the best in the business. Y'all tune in next Wednesday. It's going to be a killer day. And support Zaxby, support DeLuna. And y'all have a good evening. Keep up the good work, Michael, Aslan as well. Y'all be good. Go Noles.
That's the dude in the Villages. His name is Wes. Appreciate the phone call, Wes. Thank you very much, man. What do we got here on YouTube? Our guy in Arkansas, I had him on the screen, and then he came and threw money at us. Yeah, Eric Gravitt. What up, Eric? How about this?
Dollar bills, y'all.
Looks like a poor man's Brooks Koepka. Eric, shout out to you. I'm just kidding, man. It's all love. It's all. He posted something here. I can't find it now, though. I'll try to get back to you, man, because you did throw doll hairs our way. So I got to get your question up on the screen. There we go. Just nothing. He just says he hopes we can close strong. Appreciates all that you do, Michael. Longtime member from Rock City, Arkansas. Stand up.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Natural State. The Natural State. Okay. Bill Stockwell, big fan of Jordan Travis, but believe competition brings out the best in all of us. Question, any idea how many quarterbacks Florida State's looking at in the portal? Are they, we don't know. We need a number, but they got to get somebody out of the portal, right, Michael?
I would think so. I think you want one. I don't think you need any more than one. I definitely think, in my opinion, I think they will take a quarterback. But that's kind of where I think things stand with that.
All right. Sky Ninja's here, everybody. Give it up. Thank you, Sky Ninja. $10. What recruiter transfer we are chasing has the most buzz around the locker room? If you know. Just curious what players think. Thanks for the info.
Yeah, I think Kevin Coleman would be the guy. I mean, so dynamic and people want him so bad. Marvin Jones would be another one that they know that both of those guys would greatly impact their roster. So, I think those guys, it's probably the buzz there, but I think they're not as much into it as people think, but those are kind of the buzz guys that they see like, hey, these guys are really talented. These guys will help us. So I think they're the most publicized that I hear.
Thanks, Sky Ninja. Kevin Saldana, the king of swole. Save the money, buy a shirt with some sleeves, Kev. Just kidding, man. It's all love. 5 bones. Small pillar gang here. I think TJ Watt is supposed to become a free agent after the year. You heard any interest in him? No, but that'd be cool. Like if they could get like a 2-star guy that ends up being. Although I don't know if TJ was a 2-star. I know JJ was. But no, we can't. No eligibility left in him. But we appreciate it, Kevin. We all can use levity in these stressful times that we live in right now. It's a big time. Big time. All right, let's see here. Roger Shaw. Well, Roger Shaw. Sorry, man. Just listen, guys. It's not 2007 anymore. There's Twitter. There's Instagram. There's no secrets. Just not secrets. I mean, a guy might show up on campus that we're not expecting in terms of like making a visit.
Yeah.
Like Tyree West shows up all of a sudden, like, ooh, surprise. But I mean, there isn't a kid that's from modern day right now in Los Angeles that's going to sign with Florida State on Wednesday. It just doesn't work like that anymore.
No, there's so much. I mean, Twitter and social media is taking away the suspense. Like where you guys know everything that's going on. Like these kids share their personal feelings, that you get to see what they're looking at and where they're at and where their minds are at. The feelings are so quickly perceived onto the public that the secret stuff of a guy sneaking in for visits is almost near impossible to happen now. Now there are guys that maybe you don't know about that just pop up, that could surprise and visit. Yes, like Aslan said, but just guys popping up in the class, probably not.
Check out Bo Roy up in here. Strong name, strong temp, man. Let's go. Oh, ask something, man. But we appreciate it. This is a NIL money for you, Michael. I don't know what he's going to do now that he has your name, image, and likeness for $75, but you've
There you
given
go.
it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so
I will use it wisely. And you know what that is? That's called giving Diane, my wife, the money. That's what I call wisely.
All right.
So thank you, Bo. I appreciate it.
Good vibes only. Jalen, GVO, hang 10, bro. Do you believe Mycah Pittman is coming?
I do. I think I've heard they're confident about one receiver portal kid, and I think he would be the guy that I would have in mind. Now, do I have that confirmed by FSU contacts yet? No, but I have a feeling, just based on people I talked to, that he's a guy that they feel good about going into this visit. So we'll see how it goes. They certainly still need to do a good job on the visit, but yes, I think I think it's fair to say that I feel confident where they're at right now.
All right, very well. A lot of people asking about that, so glad we brought that to the horizon here. Let's jump back into the queue. Let's go to Colorado. Get down or lay down in some circles. It's also known as Kyle to his friends. Kyle, good evening to you.
Good evening,
What's
gentlemen. How you doing?
We're fantastic, man. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing super awesome right now. Quick question, then I'll sign right off so that you guys get the other stuff. Does Jermaine Johnson's recent success resonate more with the transfer portal guys or high school kids?
I would say a little bit of both. Probably, more so the portal kids because they see like what they're going through. They know Jermaine knows what they're going through. So I'd say the bigger effect is the portal kids. I think guys like Jared Verse, who's visiting from Albany, a defensive end that's very talented. These guys probably noticed what FSU did with Jermaine Johnson, and they're going to have a better effect on that because they're going through the same thing. So but then again, I'd say high school kids, they see it too. Like, man, look how quickly they did something with this guy at their program. So that could be me, and maybe I can make a quick impact. So it kind of goes both ways. I think it's a little bit of both, Kyle. That I think it's better for the portal, but it certainly helps the high school kids too. Like guys like Marvin Jones that watched Jermaine Johnson do his thing. Certainly, that's attractive to them.
Awesome. Well, hey, I love you guys. It's getting ready to snow here tonight, so y'all enjoy your weather. Have a great night.
We will,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you, Kyle.
The snow. Do not miss the snow. That's Kyle, everybody. That's Get Down or Lay Down. If you're hanging out here with us on YouTube live, he's in the comments. Get at him. Everybody get at him. Let's grab another phone call while we are here right now, Michael. Let's go to even further west than Colorado. Oh, no.
You hung up.
What?
Got tired of waiting for you, Ezra.
Shoot. All right, you know who we got? We got the dude. We've got none other than Ralph from Hawaii. So let me get the phone line back up here. Let me find a question to ask you. We'll go to Khalil, only because he just threw money at me and it's right on my screen. So a little bit of this.
Dollar bills, y'all.
We're taking lots of questions that haven't thrown money at us, everybody. I'm in a rush and it's lit up on my screen. So it's just easier. That's how it works. Michael, talk to Khalil here. Well, he's not on the phone, but just the question. Do you believe FSU not producing any good linebackers since Northrop and Terrence Smith? By the way, real quick, Ralph, I'm coming for you. I appreciate it. I promise. Khalil just likes defending the little man. He's president, CEO of the Jarvis Brownlee fan club. He's Reggie Northrop's VP of communications and Terrence Smith's public information director, man. He loves these guys that get overlooked, he thinks, by the population at large here. So do you believe with FSU not producing any good linebackers since the great Reggie Northrop and Terrence Smith, does it make it harder for Florida State to pull guys? Same thing at wide receiver ever since Auden Tate, Travis Rudolph, etc.
It does. I mean, that's what you need is production, and that's what recruits and portal guys are going to certainly look at. Certainly, portal guys, they see like, hey, I can go in there and I can do better. But it makes it less enticing, especially at linebacker when you haven't had the production. I mean, I thought Kalen DeLoach played very well at certain times, but besides that, hasn't been a lot. So yeah, it does affect in making it harder to pull guys when kids don't see the production. So yes, it does make it tougher. Hopefully, assuming that Randy Shannon's the guy, hopefully that changes. He gets guys, he develops them, he does a great job with them, and that's less of a problem going in the future. Same thing with receiver. You want to see more there. Certainly one of the weak points of FSU this year. So yeah, you got to produce on the field. I mean, it goes without saying, product on the field, escalates to what you're going to recruit. And certainly if you're not producing, if I'm a recruit watching that, I'm like, well, why should I go there? I need a reason to go there. Just watch him on the field. So certainly those parts of things have to get better, Khalil.
Thanks, Khalil. Appreciate you, man. Keep fighting the good fight. These guys appreciate it. If I'm ever in the bar with you and these guys, I'll let them know that you're out here defending their honor proudly. Ralph, call us back, man. We're back up and running on the phone line. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I really don't. No Patal, Sage Rubin, Julian Armella. What is the deal?
Sage, we got I got a good scoop for you, buddy. We got a full story on the front page with Julian Armella's in-home visit. Really talks about everything, his excitement level of everything. If you read that, that's kind of the news. He's coming in for official visit. I like where FSU sits. I think FSU is going to land him. That's kind of my news on Julian, where I feel. I think things are looking pretty good. He's going to officially visit FSU this weekend. So in-home really well. You can read that story. So it should still be on the front page of Warchant. And so should cover all your questions about what things are going on with Julian Armella. So there you go.
I'm going to pull it up so you can read it. Just
There you
kidding.
go.
Got to pay for that. Got to pay for that. Mark Hudson asks, do we have the best shot at Gerard Verse?
I think there's a lot of teams involved with him. Iowa's another one I think is pretty high up there that I hear. I hear Iowa and FSU the most, but I certainly think they have a really good shot, Mark. I mean, I'm not going to say they have the best shot, but I would say the way we talk about the Jermaine Johnson effect, this is a guy that has that effect, that saw that. So I think he sees that. I think it could be dramatic. He's going to officially visit this weekend. I think if everything clicks, certainly I would then change FSU into, having the best shot. But for now, I think, there's several teams involved, but I think they have a certainly a big opportunity to really go in there and make a splash.
And 8 Rhode Island alive. Look at that. And
that's a lot. That's a lot of green.
That's a lot of green. Let's see here. So strong to quite strong grades there. Playing for the Danes, I think, the Great Danes of Albany, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
12 pressures this past year, 11 tackles according to PFF. So I think Tennessee might be in the picture as I Google searched his name.
Yeah,
so,
Tennessee, Iowa. There's several teams involved. I hear more about Iowa and FSU, but certainly I visited Syracuse officially too. So there's definitely options. So, but definitely he's a need, and he would be a massive pickup for their portal to get a defensive end already. Maybe possibly pull another one.
Carmelo English?
Yes, wide receiver. Phoenix City, Alabama. I went there a couple years ago to see Justin Ross. I remember that.
Guy. Come on, man. It's 9 days and 6 days. And you want to talk about guys in the future? Come on, at Gecki. But carry on, Michael.
But yes, he is a guy that they're interested in. As you can see by the future casts, Alabama is the favorite. But he is definitely a guy that likes Woodson a lot, likes Dugans a lot. He plans to visit FSU very early in the spring, from what I was told from Carmelo. So, but yes, there's plenty of competition, and he's certainly a guy they want.
All right. Happy early birthday to Mike Osteen. All he wants is Marvin Jones Jr., Mycah Pittman, Julian Armella, and a transfer quarterback, and that's it. So
no Coleman? Man, can't believe you didn't throw Coleman in there, Mike. Disappointed in you.
Chris Clayton, what up? What up, CC? What's the disconnect, Michael, with some of these legacy kids that we can't automatically lock them down? Is the relationship with former players in the school, or is it something else?
I don't think there's a disconnect, Chris. I think it's more just they want to see, the product is improving. We see growth. We saw that for the last 5 weeks, but still, you're a 5-7 team or whatever their final record was, and that's what you are. Yeah, so kids got to want to commit to something that they see a future in developing. Certainly, we see that it's going to that direction. Certainly, a lot of these kids believe in what they're doing. There's a dramatic change of what they look like against Jacksonville State and what they looked like when they played Florida at the end of the year. There's a massive difference as far as I'm concerned. So kids see that, recruits see that, but you're just not going to automatically get them just because they're legacy kids. Like legacy kids are in some ways, legacy kids are harder to recruit than regular guys that don't have a connection to the school because you have a lot to. There's a lot to a lot of responsibility to. If you recruit that guy, you better make sure you get him, or you better make sure you're completely sold on everything. So sometimes it's tougher if, say, the dad or the uncle had a better career or their team was better at that time. It's like, okay, well, why aren't they like that now, Dad? Or so there's still a lot to go through, and it's not like a disconnect. It's more so proving what your vision's going to be and selling them on that and having them grasp that. And once they grasp that, it's not as hard to do. But we've seen they already got one Lamont Green Jr., who's a really phenomenal defensive end for 2023. Aaron Hester's another one with connections. Ron Hester used to play at FSU, so there are connections. Some are easier than others, but we all know, and this is not a secret, that when you're dealing with 5 stars, it's a lot more difficult because you're talking about a national guy that all the big boys want. So that makes it a lot more challenging.
Bill Stamps, William Stamps. What's up, William? How hard are AJ Duffy, Travis Hunter, and Sam McCall recruiting?
Very, very hard. As you've seen in Twitter, some people have Twitter, some people don't go on it. Duffy, Hunter, and McCall are all trying to get Mycah Pittman on, and all these guys that get an offer. They see they're visiting FSU. They're certainly promoting FSU. They're certainly trying to get them to FSU. So, yeah, they're recruiting as steady as they have before.
Thanks, William. Helicopter Kicks in the house. How about this? Put that in your rotor. Thank you, Helicopter Kicks. Not a recruiting question this time, but I have to know, Michael and Aslan. Favorite Christmas movie, and why is it Die Hard? If you say Elf, I will never tune in again, ever. I've actually never seen Elf, so I can't put that on my list. Christmas Vacation guy, probably Home Alone, 1A, 1B. You can't take your money back, Helicopter Kick, so I'm sorry to say this, but I love Die Hard, but it's not just because Christmas is going on in the background of a terrorist seizing a skyscraper building doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie. It's crazy, I know, but it's not. I love it though. I love Die Hard. Come over to the coast, have a couple laughs, crawling through the roof. What about you, Michael?
I always like Christmas Vacation. We watch that every Christmas. I'm big on that. And then Die Hard for me. I mean, that's a Christmas movie all the way for me. Wow. The guy's wife's name is Holly, man. Come on. I mean, how can you not have Christmas with Holly? So I just love Die Hard. Obviously, our family loves that, so Die Hard's really big for me, and so is. But Christmas Vacation is the one like we watch every year, so that's for me. Elf, I've watched it. It's silly and stupid, so I don't really think much of it. So I'm right there with you. Helicopter Kicks. So not a big fan of that one. There's some humor in it, but it's a different kind of humor. But for me, I would go Christmas Vacation and Die Hard.
I wish I can't change. I wanted to pull up the Hans.
Yes.
You're right.
You pulled it. Yeah.
I can't play. I don't have the audio checked off. But you know where my heart's at, Helicopter Kicks. We appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Let us know what your favorite movie is, Helicopter. I guess Die Hard you pretty much is what you're trying to say to us.
Yeah.
Pitmaster from Perry. By the way, Ralph, phone lines are open for you, man. Give us a call if you're still out there, Ralph. I love you. Chris from Perry is a pitmaster. What has played to the advantage of this coaching staff more this recruiting period? Not having a bowl game to practice and prepare for, or all these new coaches salvaging their class at the last minute?
I personally, for FSU situation, I like that they're recruiting. Instead of preparing for a bowl game, it takes more juggling to do that. And with the stage of where FSU's at, they need as much time as they can with the portal and have as much time with all these kids that they're seriously targeting and recruiting. So I think it benefits FSU a lot more than not playing any more games. What are you going to get out of that? Well, possibly one more win. I don't think it really benefits them to the way it would recruiting, where recruiting, you can take all these visits, you can go to see more guys. If you had a football game or football practice, you would be juggling everything and running around, and it just make things a lot more hectic. Kids could see your practice, but that's really the gist of it. I think it benefits them with what's going on right now.
I don't know what to do here, Michael. I don't like responding to threats. Somebody threat. They're just like, I know you see my SH. I mean, it's the question is, I mean, whatever, man. Here.
What's your question?
Hey,
What's the question?
Merry Christmas, Billy Zatoli. Merry Christmas, man. With the kid from Niceville visiting this weekend, how are shots? He's the one I want the most. How are our chances? How are shots? I don't know, Billy. Have you been drinking tonight? He played against him 2 years ago, and he's the best he played against. So Billy Zatoli says, I guess it's Azari Thomas.
Yeah.
He's talking about. So there you go.
Yeah, Azari Thomas plays wide receiver and DB, so he plays both sides. So if FSU got him, he would certainly, I think, play both. No, there's a good shot, really solid shot. I would say really solid shot. I think really the visit, they need to nail the visit to see the comfort that he has with the staff and players. That's the one thing he hasn't done. You mentioned he has a relationship with Amari Gainer, but a lot of these players he doesn't. So I think it's going to be good to have him around the players, see what the culture's like, the chemistry. I think he understands what FSU is going to do with him. So I don't think there's a sell pitch hard there, but I think it's just being around the players, feeling that vibe of Tallahassee, feeling the vibe of what their players stand for. And I think if they do that, I think they have a really good shot to pull him in this class.
Kevin's back. Well, I look for a new shirt to please Aslan. It's fine, man. I'm just jealous, man. Let him out, man. Let the Second Amendment, man, right to bear arms. Show him off. Kamari Wilson, what's going on, man? Anything up? Any news with him, Michael?
He does flirt with FSU. He does like all the staff, but at the end of the day, I think Georgia has always been the team that I hear the most with him. I know you mentioned FSU in his top 3, Miami too, but I just think that kid's going to Georgia. It has a feel of Georgia.
Is Sam McCall still all in? Wonder Daryl.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I have not heard anything different. Daryl sounds really good. I haven't heard anything. He's ready to sign. He said, I'm ready to sign right after Norvell visit. I take that as a pretty good sign. So.
Keith Quass. We desperately need a backup quarterback. Max, kid from Purdue, Rattler, any quarterback news? Oh, by the way, Nick C. Shout out Nick C. We forgot about Amari. He's a legacy.
There you go.
All right, Herb.
Thank you,
love
Nick.
You, Herb. Yeah. All right, back to Keith. Anything new?
Nothing really new at quarterbacks. I think Jack Plummer from Purdue is a guy that I think they'll be interested in, but there hasn't been really any movement there yet. Certainly with Max, everyone's waiting to see what FSU does if there's anything there. Rattler, I don't expect them to push there. So that's kind of where they sit with quarterback. We're just sitting and waiting. There isn't a major push just yet. So just be patient, guys. We've got a long ways to go. It's only December, and this thing's going to go all the way to, maybe even July. So
patience is for the birds, Michael. Patience is for the birds. I want them all now. I want 10 wins in 2022. I want it all now, man. Anything new regarding Marcus Banks, asks our guy from the natural state, Eric.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new yet there with Marcus. I didn't get the impression when I talked to people around him that he was in a hurry to do everything. So they might be patiently doing this where nothing happens until after the early signing period with Marcus. So I have not heard a lot of movement just yet with Marcus Banks. For those that don't know, he's the son of Bobby Meeks, who passed away. So definitely has Seminole blood in him. So that's about it.
Christmas story. Tom Lang says Muppet Christmas Carol. Yippee-ki Nole.
Yeah, for me, Christmas story, I've never really
seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen Christmas story.
I've just never. It doesn't resonate with me. It's like I'm not a gun person. A kid shooting himself in the face with a gun and getting his
tongue gets stuck to a pole.
Yeah, I'm not into that. So I could resonate more with the Christmas Vacation because I've gone through that. I know what family, when you have family over, it gets crazy. That's more realistic to me and affecting me.
Yeah. People keep asking about the Johnson brothers, like Garrett Lovelace. I don't know, rewind about 25 minutes, but hit the thumbs up button first before you do that. And Michael speaks a little bit about the potential fit, his thoughts, probably package deal, but that's all I'm giving you. Scroll back. We got to move forward. Charm 850. Kickers, man. What's going on with kickers? You looking at any kickers, Michael?
Will Bettridge, he's committed to Virginia. Um, Coach JP went to visit him. I texted with Will a little bit, and Will told me, I was like, "If you're interested in FSU still," and he said, "I'm definitely interested. I just waiting to see who Virginia hires." For those that don't know, Virginia's looking for a head coach. Was supposed to be Clemson OC Tony Elliott, but that one looks like it's got some complications. Maybe Josh Gaddis from Michigan is kind of what I hear, but once that happens, he's originally from Gulliver Prep, so there's certainly some ties there with Lamont Green Jr. and all those guys. So he definitely likes FSU a lot. I think FSU wants him. I think he would be a take of what we want in this class, but that's what Will said to me, that he's waiting to see who Virginia hires, and then he'll go from there. That's what he told me.
I saw a tweet about him thanking Coach Papuchas.
Yep.
But I can't find it now. But I did find this, so it's a real thing. It exists. There you go. Will Bettridge, he's a kicker. And everybody likes each other. C_Fry. Demario Tolan, Michael Langston from Dr. Phillips.
I think he's more likely to go to either Georgia. Maybe Miami can make a late push, but I think Georgia is the team that I hear the most. He went to Georgia 3 straight games, and obviously he's still committed to LSU. He hasn't backed away from the commitment just yet. Maybe he's waiting to see, if it's outs for him. But Georgia will be the team I circle, and then possibly Miami. Cristobal might go in there and try to maybe push and get him. But FSU is talking to him, but FSU doesn't have a linebackers coach, so the likelihood of that is probably not possible right now.
Shout out to Nick C coming in here after Blue Boy, the realist, not second, the realist. Asking about Jacob Copeland. Nick C says Copeland's going to have to run it by his mom.
Oh,
no.
That's cold.
Too soon, Nick.
That's cold. That's cold.
Yeah, pulled what was it, Landon Collins? Was it Landon Collins' mom that also got upset when he picked Alabama over LSU?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle asked this earlier. I don't know what this is in reference to, but any chance of a Nick Cross situation? I guess does that mean flip?
I haven't even seen him in the portal yet, so maybe I'm missing something and I missed him. But
well, I don't know. I guess a Nick Cross situation, so I guess somebody that we think is going to commit and then doesn't. But I mean, Nick Cross, that was always 50-50, wasn't it? We thought. I mean, it was never like.
Yeah, I think they're probably referring to Nyjalik Kelly or somebody like that. Something like that, or maybe Marvin Jones. I don't see a situation comparable to that, to be honest, at this point.
Travis Hunter all in?
Yep. He's expected to sign with FSU. That's I've definitely changed on that.
What do you mean you've changed on
I
that?
I haven't changed on that.
Oh, all right, come on.
Yeah,
Gonna
my
give
bad.
a heart attack, man. Come on.
Well, I dress him every week because somebody's putting in there he's going to flip to Georgia, Alabama. I can't see Travis Hunter going all the way to December 15th to sign and then say, "Oh, I'm going to sign with Georgia," by the way, and screwing over Woodson. And he's not giving any feels of doing that. We interviewed him, exclusive interview in Lowndes after his game. He was very clear, like, I'm signing with FSU on December 15th. So I haven't heard anything to worry me about that. So I think he's going to sign with FSU. As far as Tyrese Chambers, Mark, he was supposed to visit this weekend. I think they're kind of taking a patient approach on him and not ready to bring him in just yet. They did visit him, so that definitely tells you there's interest. I think Norvell has talked to him, so they might want to I think they might want to get somebody else on board before they, just go full bore on him. I think Mike is probably the guy they would get, and then after that, then I think you could see something happening with Tyrese with a visit and stuff like that.
Try to pull up his PFF numbers. Winding things down. Hit the thumbs up, everybody. Come on, man. You know what to do. Be a team player.
Hit it, guys.
Do the thing. I'd rather get the linemen, I think, but those are nice numbers. That's a lot of green. We like green around here.
Very explosive receiver. He's very good on the deep balls. He definitely would be a deep threat. That's where he does the best. That's his thing.
Well, this would be his third institution, though, huh? He's at Sacred Heart, sat out here, then FIU. So interesting. All right. Man, why is Mike yelling all day today, man? What about the kicker? Oh, that's his guy. Bates, Ware County. His Christmas movie is Bad Santa. Man, Bad Santa's that movie's messed up, man. You talk about thinking I thought I was going in to watch like a comedy. I don't even that's really. I guess
it's not a hit.
It's depressing, man. That was horrible.
It's very kind of it's humor, but it's really hard level humor. If you know what I mean.
Here we go. No one's asked about this. Most couple people have, but they were all joking. You don't do this sort of stuff, but everyone keeps, not everybody, but there's a couple people. Kenny, Auburn, nah.
No. I haven't heard anything with that. I know people. I think whatever the Alabama newspaper reported, like that they contacted him, but I haven't heard anything out of that. Kenny is back in Tallahassee already recruiting. He's not stopped recruiting. He hasn't done anything. There hasn't been anything coming about of that, so I don't see anything into that. I think Kenny's extremely happy where he's at. So I have not heard anything about Kenny Dillingham at Auburn.
Okay. All right, last one. Kevin's back. He thought he found a shirt, but it only had one sleeve. Michael, what's more likely, convincing Aslan the Die Hard's a Christmas movie or Destin Hill actually showing up in January?
Probably the Die Hard part. I think Aslan's believable that Destin Hill's coming until we hear something that isn't. So I think Die Hard will be
firm. You're not going to convince me. So say Destin Hill's coming in January. I've heard his name. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know. I get it that he was at one time committed, and then it's been a whole year, and we keep telling everybody, hey, he's coming. Forget about it. Don't worry. But now it's like, all right, man, we're less than a week away. I haven't seen like any photos I don't know, can they still visit him? But you see them visiting all these prospects. You hear all these transfer portal targets, but we don't hear anything about Destin Hill. So I guess.
Well, there's no reason to visit him because he's already, committed and signed to FSU, and before I heard it was a family situation they were working out, and he's supposed to be here in January. And guess what? January's coming, guys. So we're gonna find out now. If he doesn't, then we can address it further. But the expectation has not changed, and so we'll see. We'll see if he follows through with that. I have not heard anything throughout the year. The FSU contacts have told me, like, look, we expect him to come. That's what they expect. So if there's a change, I'll definitely let you guys know, but that's what I have right now.
All right, last two. Eric's back. Tyree West, Georgia still pushing hard, or who's got the momentum?
No, Georgia, he's committed to Georgia. So, no, they're not pushing hard. I think Georgia's got so many defensive linemen. That's how good they're recruiting. They're okay. Tyree West going somewhere else. I do think we have the momentum. I do think it's going to be FSU. I think Tennessee, Auburn. I think he's officially visiting Tennessee this weekend, but I think FSU, I like their chances to land him.
Here's a quick funny one from our guy, Bo. Which player fostered more recruiting questions, Travis Hunter or Isaac Nada?
That is close battle because Nada was brought up even when he wasn't coming here. So I'm going to go with Travis just because Travis is the #1 player in the country, but it was close, but I would go with Travis.
Thank you, William McMillan. Appreciate that. And last one, Blue Boy the Realist. He looks very, very pensive in his avatar photo. Jihad Campbell. Are they going to make a push for that guy, you think?
He didn't really show a lot of interest in FSU when he was like on the market, for everyone to go after. But I expect them to push. But I haven't heard anything that leads me to believe like, hey, there's a strong chance. I think Alabama's a team that I've heard along with him. But I haven't heard anything with FSU just yet, but I know they're going to push for him.
All right. Don't forget, tomorrow, 1 to 3 o'clock, the Jeff Cameron Show, live here on our YouTube channel, as well as 93.3 FM in Tallahassee. That's a cool place. So check that out. Oh, look at this. We got a graphic I was trying to share earlier, but you know me, I'm all over the place sometimes. But we'll be back on Monday with a live show, and we're also going to blow this puppy out.
Yes.
On Wednesday. Look at this. We're sponsored by an alcoholic distributor. That's fantastic.
Good. That's what I'll be hitting after December 15th. So that's good. It's perfect.
So join us starting at 8 a.m. here, Wednesday, December 15th. 7 hours of live coverage and analysis beginning at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll have the whole super chat thing going up, chats, talk, chitter chatter. Anytime there's a live ceremony going on, whether that's Instagram or Twitter, we'll take you live there and live right here on Warchant TV. So stay connected to us. Michael, any last thoughts, comments?
Nope. Just hang on, guys. It's going to be it's going to be a long ride, and certainly a lot's going to be going on, and we're going to bring it to you. Just stay in with us, and we're certainly going to give you guys everything that's possibly happening with recruiting, and just get ready, enjoy the ride.
Hit the thumbs up on the way out, folks. We certainly would appreciate that. Almost as much as we appreciate Vishal. Shout out, big shooter today. Very much appreciate that. Our guy Bo Roy, William McMillan, Mark Sermons, Helicopter Kicks, Sky Ninja, Khalil Young, Kevin Saldana, Eric Gravitt, Khalil Young, Travis H., Jeremy Ivins, Eric Angel, last but not least, Rob Rathbun. Thank you all for watching. Again, hit that thumbs up on the way out. He's Michael Amazon. Thanks for watching. Stay connected to warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source.